You're on mute, Senator. Senator Carper, we aren't hearing you.
Yes.
Hear you now, loud and clear.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, good. Can you see me? Tommy, can you see me?
I can see you too.
How was that, Jackie? All righty. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to, I guess, the nominees. Happy that you've been nominated and happy to have the opportunity to spend this time with you today. In March of 2021, OMB issued guidance to agencies regarding the implementation of the Payment Integrity Information Act, a law championed by our chair, by Senator Johnson and myself, so two other former chairs. It's intended to help agencies cut down on improper payments, as you may know. On December 30th, OMB released updated data on agencies' improper payments. The latest data estimates that government-wide improper payment rate increased from 5.6% to 7.2% between fiscal years 2020 and fiscal 21, driven largely by the surge in emergency spending due to the pandemic. With that said, the long-standing issue of improper payments has totaled nearly, get this, $2 trillion from fiscal years 2003 to 2020. $2 trillion. Ms. Young and Ms. Claretti, could you each describe your approach to the issue of improper payments, or your approaches to the issue of improper payments? As director and deputy director, how would you lead our government-wide efforts to address payment integrity issues and curb improper payments? Take it away. Ms. Young, Ms. Claretti, please.
Yeah, Senator Carper, it's good to see you, even if on the screen. And good talking with you, and I know you've been a leader on this, so I want to thank you for your work. I spoke a little with Chairman Peters about this. We have invested some of this Technology Modernization Fund resources to login.gov. We believe improper payments, one of the issues is to deal with identity theft. Some of the more nefarious actors are stealing identities of American people. So we have to do something with that issue in order to bring down improper payments. Jason Miller, who's our Deputy Director for Management, who came before this committee last year to be confirmed, has been leading the efforts with our Inspectors General. He is the chair of the Inspector General's group, SIGI, and we are maintaining close relationships with them and sent out guidance in December to agencies about our expectations as an administration executive branch on their working relationship with IGs. We believe that's key to bringing down improper payments as well. But the work you mentioned with the other members, my personal opinion is there will need to be legislative assistance. Some of these programs are just exacerbated during the pandemic, but these are long-standing issues many of you have worked on. So I look forward to working with you as you work on legislative fixes to make sure that we reduce improper payments. One of the things I wanted to do in this job was figure out what is an improper payment. What's counted in these figures are not just these nefarious actors, which there are many of, but it can also be underpayments. Those are improper payments. It can be overpayments and people pay back. That amount is not reduced from this improper payments figure. So we have a lot of work to do to make sure. I think this goes hand in hand with the customer service issues Senator Hassan talked about. Our IT systems have to improve. Our data sharing between databases have to improve. And so one more concrete example is we are working with Treasury and Social Security Administration on death data to make sure we aren't paying people who are deceased. And that goes down to simple database sharing, but that's not always done well, and we're committed to working with both agencies to get that right.
Thank you. I think when the first set of payments, large payments that we set out when we fell into the pandemic, I think that about $1.4 billion were sent to people who were dead. And we tried to recover that as much as we could. We did some, but not all. Same question, if I could, for Ms. Colorado. As a deputy director, how would you lead government-wide efforts to address payment integrity issues and curb improper payments?
Senator, thanks for this question and the opportunity to talk about this and for your leadership in this area. I do have experience working on improper payments and reducing them at the Department of the Treasury and at Housing and Urban Development. I know that
Great,
whenever
great
there's...
news.
Pardon?
That's great news.
Yeah, thank you. Look, I think part of the challenge here is when you're trying to implement large things, this can happen. And so I think the president's, as I sit from the outside, the administration is focused in the right area here, focusing on data improvement, data sharing. I believe they're also investing in local data systems because some of this improper payment happens at the state and local level because that's where the first dollar is actually landing. So that's helpful. I think the work that Congress has led on the Data Act will be helpful as well. And if confirmed, I look forward to continuing to help lead in this area across agencies in partnership with the Deputy Director for Management.
When we're talking about thank you for that response, $2 trillion over the last, 15, 16, 17 years. This has to be part of our DNA as the executive branch and legislative branch as well. One last question, both for Vishal and Ms. Colorati. How will you work together to balance the big picture view of the federal budget as a whole with the understanding that budgetary decisions will affect individual Americans in the course of their daily lives, and certainly as we continue to battle this pandemic?
Senator, it's on, I think, two fronts. So we have to make sure our investments are the right ones that make a difference in everyday lives. I'm thinking about childcare, which I'm probably thinking about that because I'm a new mother, and so it is an issue front and center.
Congratulations, boy or girl?
A girl, sir.
First child?
Sir?
First child?
First and only.
That's great.
And so we need to be very, very deliberate in our investments to make sure that we are getting to these pocketbook issues that hit hard with families, and ensure that there's full participation in the workforce. Something we're seeing that we're struggling with as an economy, making sure that our investments encourage full participation, including from women. So child care, pre-K come to mind, prescription drugs, I mentioned earlier, bringing down that cost. On the other side is to be fiscally responsible. The president proposed offsets for his ideas, and I think that is the right fiscal and economic way to approach these. We can disagree about those investments in offsets, but the first step is making sure that we offer them, and this president has done that.
Mr. Chairman, does Ms. Colorati have a few seconds that she could add something as well?
I'm happy to add something. Thanks, Mr. Chair and Senator. I just want to express my support for the efforts that have been put forward so far from President Biden and his administration, particularly putting forward a budget that is fully paid for. I think that's a good first step.
All right. Thank you both very much.
Thank you, Senator Carper. Senator Rosen, you're recognized for your questions.